So for a long time, Fishman Island was probably one of the worst arcs in One Piece. And it wasn't necessarily because the arc itself was bad. Because I mean, we got things like the Straw Hats being shown with like their new power-ups for the first time. Luffy taking out 50,000 fishmen with just his eyes and Conqueror's Haki. The very sad backstory with the fishmen and how they got persecuted all those years and discriminated against. Like, it genuinely is probably one of the better arcs in One Piece in terms of like just story in general. But like the way that they animated it and how Toya did this like pre the remake, that shit was not it. I think it actually took almost 10 episodes for us to actually get to like just the backstory with the fishmen. Mind you, the remake did that in like 3, 4, 5-ish episodes, if that. There's been a lot of disagreements in general about if the remake was even good or if it was just a waste of time. It's decent. I still think it's a waste of time, but I'm not saying that the remake was bad. But we're gonna get into that because today we are talking the One Piece remake. Fishman Island remake was bad? Question mark. So let's get into it. First, Discord, Twitter, all that. Make sure you follow that. So why even reanimate Fish Island in general, even though there's a whole lot of arcs you could have chose from to reanimate? Like, we could have got Enies Lobby. We could have got maybe a remastered Marineford. Shit, we could have got a remastered, chopped down Skypiea. But really, the Fishman Island remake was just reanimated because, like, that shit was like low-key trash. Like, that pacing and the animation and just like everything about it was low-key trash and it needed to be better. It also got reanimated because the manga was low-key starting to catch up to the anime, so they wanted to give the manga a good time to actually get ahead of the anime. Fishman Island is genuinely a good arc because, like I said, there were a lot of important pieces of just story in that. It really didn't showcase how strong the Straw Hats had gotten, and that just good enough. And it was also, again, Fishman Island, that whole entire arc was trying to tell the story of the fishmen and the discrimination that they were facing. And it's like, I feel like it took so long to get to some points and it was so like drawn out that it just didn't need to be. The way they animated it, the way they made certain characters look, the scenes look, the way Orihime was looking when she was like talking about this and really like trying to get them to be like, hey yo, you need to like sign this petition because like, you need to go see the sun, be friends with humans, stop all this fighting. Although it has been a good remake, there are still some kind of just like little small things that they're low-key taking out that like really shouldn't have been taken out. Like a really good prime example of this, I know you guys remember this joke that Luffy had made. Well, it wasn't necessarily a joke, he was being dead ass, but like it was just still funny. Like that one with him and Frankie, that was funny, and it wasn't in there. That was just one of like huge little small changes that they made to just like condense it. And like, I mean, like, I guess like, it's fine. Hey, we're 17 episodes into the remake right now, and buddy, the actual like the original of Fishman Island, at episode 17 in Fishman Island, the Straw Hats were just taking over Baruch's castle. At episode 17, Luffy is about to fight Hody. That should say something about how much extra ass filler and just how bad pacing was pre the original. And talking about Luffy taking out 50,000 fishmen with just Conqueror's Haki, somebody on Twitter was actually complaining about this and saying that the original did this better, saying that, Luffy in the original, he was like barely trying, and like the anime made it seem like he wasn't trying, versus the remake, they were saying that like, you had to like try so hard, and like, just the original did it so much better, which I can 100% disagree with so many different reasons. First and foremost, if you watch these scenes side by side, you want to know what the only difference is. Like, let me take you guys to school real quick. I want you guys to watch this frame by frame, right? You see how for a good minute now, it looks the same. Obviously, the remake has better animations. Okay, yeah. But the moment it actually changes is when you see Luffy's face and his hat drops down, he's making that little like mean face. There's two ways you can interpret this. You can interpret this in the way that guy did, and that, okay, Luffy, he was trying too hard. Or you can literally just say that he was just mad about what was going on. And like Conqueror's Haki, it's king energy, but at the very heart of it, it's still like a mean type of like energy. And that's literally just the face he was making. Was just, you can literally just say like, oh, he's tired of the fishmen and what they're doing and how they're just trying to basically just destroying themselves, how they were being discriminated against, and how Hody's just trying to turn everybody on each other. That's how you can just perceive Luffy's face. It doesn't have to be some,
oh, he was trying so hard, and like, we're supposed to be showcasing Luffy's power. Like, bro, no, that's not what it is. The scene was misinterpreted.
And I feel like the remake especially did a good job of showcasing all the other Straw Hats' power too. And like I said, they have better animation now, better tools to actually tell a story. Whether it was Sanji igniting his Diambo Gem, whether it was Zoro in his 3-sword style, whether it was Chopper in that little new weird, that's a weird form, I'm not gonna lie, but his weird form. Frankie bringing out all the tech and all the mech shit that he made with the Sunny. Robin's weird, bringing out her toes and stomping on them. Nami just coming out of the abyss and just absolutely mopping that Fishman. Like, the remake really did a good job of showcasing every last one of the Straw Hats' new strengths. So with all of that good, there is still some bad, and that bad has to do with just one thing. I still think it was a waste of time. Do you know how many cover stories that Oda has done in One Piece? All those cover stories, all those little short stories, Ace's entire story, all of those, why haven't they been animated? And I tried pre this video. I have been looking for reasons why they either haven't been animated, why it hasn't been tried yet. Maybe Oda's like keeping it for the spinoff. Like, you know, when One Piece is done, he can animate all these cover stories. He can animate Ace's story, which would like, it would make sense to wait till like this is over to animate his backstory, or just like his light novel in general. Like I could understand that, but the cover stories wouldn't necessarily make sense to wait because like they're cover stories, they're going along with like how the story's going along, and some of them have even had correlation with each other. So it's like, why aren't we doing that? I feel like even when the anime was concurrently going, right, and we had those like little weird break periods with like the special episodes, and it like Wano, for example, they would have the special episodes would just be anime recaps and like the Straw Hats just yapping about what was going on. And I want you to be honest with me, you cannot sit here and tell me that you sat there and watched those episodes. I genuinely don't care how much you like One Piece. I love One Piece and I talk about this shit for fun. I'm not sitting there and watching an episode recap of something. Not only did I just watch the episode recap, it wasn't even interesting or like provoking in any way, shape, or form, right? And those would have been some of the most perfect moments to start slowly animating cover stories and like slowly starting to play with the idea of animating cover stories. Because I'm telling you, bro, even if they don't always go hand in hand with the story, or if they're just pointless to begin with and Oda's just doing it for fun, you know how much better it would be to put resources and time and energy into animating cover stories and trying to at least see if you're going to get a return on your investment versus just like doing just like some throwaway recap episodes of anime. Because like, yes, Fishman Island, it did deserve the remake. I'm not like, it did. I'm not saying it didn't. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. It has genuinely been a good remake, but other things could have been done that I feel like the community wouldn't be so split when it comes to the remake, and we all could have enjoyed something new. Because you have the people who are like concurrently watching One Piece right now, who may be on Fishman Island and can like watch like the remake of it now, or people who are about to come to Fishman Island and they can like watch this reduced remake now. And it's like you have us, the OG fans, who like are seeing this and it's like, yeah, it's cool, but like, you know, I've seen it before. And even though there are some good moments in it, and you can tell that like, hey, like the storytelling, the pacing, like everything about it is just better, it's still not new. And especially with how long the anime went on hiatus, animating Ace's light novel would have been chef's kiss. However, I can understand how you want to wait later on down the line, and maybe you want to do something more with that in the end, Oda. But like, Oda, like animating cover stories, that the return on that investment you could get is something that could be good. It could be good. And yes, I know they're just cover stories. They're not that long. They're only a couple pages. Hey, 15, you can tell Oda, hey, can you know, expand on this a little bit, you know, write this out a little bit more. And not only would this prolong the manga longer, because you know, One Piece community, One Piece is too short. We want more content. This would not only prolong the life of One Piece, but like it would give us even more content. And it's like, yeah, the One Piece anime or the One Piece manga will probably take more breaks later on down the line. Like if Oda's like making these cover stories just a little bit longer, but again, it prolongs the life of One Piece and gives us more content and more shit to talk about. You know, we're not talking about a Fishman Island remake that's like good by all means, but like it's nothing new. So yeah, was the One Piece Fishman Island remake good? Yes, it was a good remake, but could time, money, resources, and budget have gone into something else in a different project? 100%. Like I said, please do not go in the comments and tell me, oh, why are you hating? Or the Fishman Island remake was perfect, this, that, and third, yada, yada. Bro, I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm just saying we could have got something new and not something old. We could have saved the remake stuff for the One Piece that's being remade by Wit Studios. We could have saved it for then, you know, they could have had that. And like, you know, we could have got some new shit. We could have seen Ace's light novel. I said it a lot. I want to see Ace's light novel animated. That shit would be fire. The Fishman Island remake, it was decent. But you know, make sure you like, comment, please subscribe. Why watch the video and not subscribe? You know, you can get more, you know, you can be notified type shit, you know? And yeah, and if you want to yap with me, I'm on Twitch, always yapping about this. We're on Discord, yapping about it. You know, you can see my face, you can see the beautiful setup. You know, we went from poverty to, you know, a setup. So yeah. And I look sexy in this. That's okay. That's it. My lips low-key look good as fuck. Oh my gosh. Okay, my fault. I see you on the next video, man.